Hey everyone, it's Melody with Design by Melody. I am sharing my final layout for the set of 15 layouts that I did for my older sister for Christmas. This is the very last one. Now, I do have more layouts for my other sister that I'm working on right now. I'll post those. They won't be in a row though because I have a couple different things coming up here shortly. In just a few days, you guys will be seeing my Felicity Jane kit as soon as I get it in. And I'll also be sharing a coupon code for you guys to have 10% off of your order with Felicity Jane if you choose to order their February monthly kit. So keep an eye out for that. That'll be in a couple days as soon as I get it in. I believe it was supposed to ship on the 10th, and so who knows? I'm not exactly sure how long it'll actually take to get here, but I am extremely excited, and I'll share that with you as soon as I get it. So I have a photo of my nephew here playing in some water, so I'm kind of looking for some bright blue colored things just to see if I can, find some things that'll look good together. I have a kit that I sort of put together back in December. Actually, I guess it was November. For this December project, it had so much stuff in it, though, that it really, truly is not, I guess it's not really a kit. It's just a bunch of supplies that I threw together, and then I continue to kind of add to it as I run out of things. But I will say, I wish I had kind of kept track of what I'm using up, because I'll say this is truly a stash buster type of project. I had printed enough photos for 15 layouts for her and 12 for my younger sister. And let me tell you, that uses a ton of supplies when you are making 27 layouts. That's a lot of layouts. But I've really enjoyed this project, and I'm really glad that I decided to do it. I think I'm going to have to continue to do it, though, so they have photos of their kids as they grow up. And then also my older sister is pregnant, as I've mentioned in a couple videos. So once that baby's born, I'll need to scrapbook some photos of that one as well. So who knows what's in my future for this, but I am really enjoying just the extra scrapbooking. I do need to get back to my own photos though, because I'm starting to get a little bit behind in my own photos now. But no need to fear. I just ordered a ton of pictures midweek last week from Snapfish, so I should be getting those in soon. And thankfully I'll have some more pictures to do some Project Life layouts with. I only do monthly layouts for my Project Life, so I kind of used all the photos that I had printed, and then I didn't have any more to use for Project Life, so I should have some Project Life photos for you guys, or layouts for you guys shortly. I'm just kind of playing around with some different things on the layout. I used a scallop border at the bottom here, and then I'm just matting my photo first on some white paper, and then I'm going to play around with these frames. Now these frames are from SEI. It's their Black Orchid collection, and they are quite old. I've had them for a few years now. When I got them, it was at a scrapbook expo, so I'm assuming they were actually a little bit old at the time as well. But I'm trying to use them. They're not exactly... So it's not they're not good quality, but they don't stay together very well. So once you add a little bit of glue to them, you can't move them, otherwise they're going to start falling apart. And it may just be because they're a little bit older. That's probably actually exactly what it is. But I just have to be careful with them. And I've actually used one up in a future layout that you guys will see. And then I ended up having to rip it off the layout because it just didn't look right. And then I ended up throwing it away because it was unusable at that point. But I only have one more at this point, and so I'm really trying to get it used. I don't want to put it back in my stash. I really do want to use those products up. Things that I've had in my stash for a really long time that I've put out for these kits and my stash kits in the past, I really do try to use those up because I don't want to keep sticking these things back in my stash. Now, I like having a large stash because I think that's the point of scrapbooking, having a lot of things to choose from. But I also like to use up things. I don't want things to carry over, especially if I'm not using it or I haven't used it in 4 years. Why do I have it? Like, do I even like it? Or am I hoarding it? So anyways, that's just a bit of reflection, I guess, about my own stash. Now, I just played around with a couple of things here. I'm still looking at these frames. I swear I want to use them, but it's just not looking right as I try it. And it doesn't help that this is just a piece of a frame. I have a hard time using a frame as a frame because, like this oval one, I don't have photos that are small enough for that oval without it cutting out something else. And now I do like the little journaling spots, though. I do use those quite a bit. And I'm going to use it to put my title on here. So I have these not photos. I have these alphas from Recollections. I had bought 4 or 5 packages of them because I used them to label some boxes that I was keeping embellishments in previously. Now, I do have some of those still separated that way, but as I go through my storage closets and areas and separate things by color, I'll be getting rid of those. But needless to say, I had a lot of these alphas left. Now, I don't necessarily have every letter though, so I decided to use a mixture of uppercase and lowercase here in this title. And it's called Splish Splash, and I've got an uppercase S and H in the top word, and then an uppercase S and A in the, let's see, A and H in the bottom. And then I believe I'm going to go back and change the L to an uppercase one as well. So it kind of just matches. It kind of bounced around a bit because it's uppercase and lowercase. It kind of has that bouncing line as far as, the tops of the letters. But I kind of like that. It kind of adds to the playfulness of this layout in the photo. And there is that blue banner that's kind of sitting up at the top of the layout at the moment. It's going to get moved, but it says boys will be boys. Because it's like he just can't seem to stay out of the water. He's just going to splash in that water. It doesn't matter. And so I'm just putting kind of a subtitle, and it just says water fun. So Splish Splash water fun. And I'm using some basic gray alphas for that water fun part. I love those alphas. They don't always stick the best though, so you do have to kind of be a bit careful with placing them down, making sure that you push on them and making sure that they are adhered well. So I just couldn't seem to make this frame work, so I decided to use it to pop my photo up a little bit. I'm not going to throw it away, but I just couldn't seem to make it work. So I'm just cutting it apart and then using it kind of like I would foam tape, but I'm out of foam tape at the moment, so this is just a great way to use that without getting rid of it. So I do have 2 of these that I'm using here. I have the one where the Splish Splash water fun is on, and this one that I'm putting at the bottom, and it says Little Treasure, and then I have the my little date label down here as well. Now I have these Studio 112 like large green adhesive gems, and I'm going to use those up on this layout. I've kind of been carrying those around a bit as well in my stash, so I decided to go ahead and use those up here as well. And I just add that banner right to the corner of that photo. And here's another thing that I'm using up because I don't want to get rid of it. I have these little foam like pieces and I'm just using it to make foam pop up my photos with as well. I'm just cutting it apart so I don't throw it away. I don't actually have a ton of chipboard like 12 by 12 sheets, but if I did, I totally would use it for the same thing because I'm really into, I used to be extremely particular about recycling, and I really still am, but I'm not like overly anal about it anymore. However, doing things like this has just become habit for me, and I really enjoy that. I'm not like too overly concerned about the environment, but I do think we're responsible for what we do, so I just like to make good choices if at all possible. That is totally random, and I have no idea why it's in my scrapbook process video, but hey, there's a bit of my thought process about, let's see, we're at about midnight at the moment that I'm doing this voiceover, so who knows what you're going to get. I'm sitting in my living room, which is where our computer is. Kaylin's upstairs asleep, Ernest is watching football, and I am sitting by the fire. I just like chowed down on some popcorn, and I'm sitting here looking at my happy planner thinking I should probably go ahead and start next week's not layout but plan, because I don't know what I'm doing next week. So anyways, I said, let me just do a voiceover because I've got some more layouts that I need to post for you guys. So this one is a Bella Boulevard, I think they're called paper pieces, and this one said today, and it was in this like circle label. So I'm using, you're supposed to use like, I guess, the negative space for the label itself or for the title itself, but I decided to go ahead and use the pieces that you punch out, which is where it says today. And I'm going to put this on this little label at the top here. And it's got that nice green that's in the background as well. I don't use green nor the color orange very often in my scrapbooking. So when I do, I try to pull out all of those pieces and use them up as much as I can. Because first of all, I'm just not a green person. I just don't. And orange, I can't stand wearing orange because it's so not conflicts. What's the word I'm looking for? It's such a contrast to my skin tone that I just I look terrible in it. So I don't like, I generally as a rule try to stay away from the color orange. Don't like it. We actually are, we have some polo shirts for my job that we wear on different occasions, and they're bright orange, and I can't stand them. We wear them for like different events and things, but that I was telling one of my coworkers that my orange polo shirt conveniently disappeared. Yeah, it's been hidden deep, deep, deep in my closet. But anyways, I take off this, that SEI label at the bottom. It just wasn't looking right to me. And so I'm changing it to this, that green and white label instead. And I just put the date label right on top of that. Now I had this, the blue piece that you just saw me trimming out. I made it into a tag, like the top of a tag. That's actually some, what do you call that? LE Studio packaging from the grab bag, I believe I got is where that's from. But anyways, I had it sitting around because I just thought that blue and white stripe was actually a really pretty color. So I kept it. Of course, like I just said about recycling in my craft room. So I kept it. Why not? All right, this layout, though, I've been working on it for quite some time and it ends up being right at an hour. It is pretty minimally embellished. And I think it's because I actually worked on a couple different things and ended up taking them off. I am not like a truly extremely serious scrapbooker. Like, I don't really pre-plan. I sometimes lay out, like right now I've got about 15 layouts kind of planned in a sense of they're laid out with the background paper and that is it. Now that truly can change. It's not like set in stone by any means, but I just wanted to make sure I had enough of the paper that I was planning on to use for those. So I have them already kind of planned out as far as what I'm going to use as the background paper. But that's really about the maximum planning I do, other than planning what photos I want to scrapbook. Because I order my photos online, so I do have to kind of pre-plan which photos I'm going to order. But I don't really pre-plan what embellishments I'm going to use. I don't make page kits based around my photos. I just make kits of paper, and then I find photos that I want to scrapbook, and I make it work. So sometimes my layouts come together pretty quickly, and sometimes they don't. And this is one that I kind of just fuss around with for a bit. Now I'm using these rhinestones. I'm about ready to toss these though, because they frustrate me. It's a large, already put together flourish thingy frame, whatever, of rhinestones. And you're supposed to just be able to pull it off, stick it on your layout, and you're good to go. Well, I would never use it as this because those frames on the inside have one solid piece of adhesive, like jelly stuff behind it. So if you stick this on a layout, any dust or anything that comes across the page is going to stick right to that exposed adhesive. Like I thought they were supposed to just put the adhesive, like a little strand of adhesive under the gems themselves, but no, it's like a solid piece of gluey adhesive, and it's really frustrating to work with because you have to truly cut around every single gem, not just snip the little adhesive strip that's holding them all together. No, you have to actually cut whatever. Yeah, you get the point. It frustrates me, but I'm such a weirdo about it that I won't throw it away. I'm going to continue to try to use it, though it may take me years. I'm going to still continue to try to use it. So I'm just pulling out a card here to add as a journaling spot on this layout. I've got a couple different things here. I've got my honey edition, which is where this card ends up coming from, and then a couple of baby boy themed Project Life cards as well. So this is going to complete the layout. Please give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Also subscribe if you'd like to see all the other videos that I have coming up. I should be posting some new things here shortly. So definitely check out my channel over the next couple weeks if you want to see something new with the Felicity Jane kits. I'll do a review, a reveal video, a review, and then of course all the layouts that I complete with it. So anyways, thanks for joining me today, guys. I really appreciate all the support and great comments and thumbs up that you guys give me. And I hope I'm giving you a little bit of inspiration to get some things done around your craft room as well. So enjoy your day. Bye.